In the remote forests of Serbia, an entire village seemed to vanish without a trace. But there's more to this spooky story than meets the eye. Are you ready? Then let's take a trip back in time to uncover what really happened in the creepy case of the vanishing villagers. All that remains are their empty homes. On January 1984, residents of Belgrade, the capital of Serbia, woke up to yet another normal day. Little did they know that just 30 miles away in the nearby countryside, a horrifying mystery was about to unfold. It began 2 months earlier in the winter of 1983, when a local shepherd named Arso reported to the police that several members of his family had fallen gravely ill after eating dinner at their farmhouse in Kolubara village. At first, doctors believed it was a simple case of food poisoning. However, when more villagers started showing up at the hospital with the same symptoms, it became clear that something unusual was happening. But then, an even more disturbing discovery was made. A few days later, the sheriff's body was found lying in a field next to his farmhouse, his eyes wide with terror as if he had witnessed something truly horrifying before his untimely demise. As news of the chilling incident spread, fear began to grip the hearts of the villagers. The small community of just 80 people was being haunted by an invisible force, stealing away their loved ones without a trace. As the investigation into Ersho's death deepened, authorities stumbled upon a bizarre clue that defied all rational explanation. Beside the lifeless body, they found a strange stone monolith covered in cryptic symbols and markings that seemed to be hundreds of years old. Was it a message from beyond the grave, or a clue to some ancient evil lurking in their midst? But here's the biggest shocker. Days later, the stone monolith was nowhere to be seen, as if it had vanished into thin air, leaving behind no trace of its existence. What could this mean for the already terrified villagers who were now starting to flee their homes in droves? At this point, the mystery only deepened, leading many to believe that the village might be cursed. And it didn't end there. In the following weeks, several more villagers mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Their homes were left abandoned, their possessions untouched, and their families desperate for answers. One evening, a journalist named Katarina Jovic decided to visit the village to investigate. She wanted to find out what was really going on in this seemingly cursed town, and put an end to these horrifying rumors once and for all. What she discovered shocked her to the core. Broken glass littered the ground, shattered windows stared blankly from their frames, and torn children's dolls lay abandoned on the floor. It was as if the village had been abruptly evacuated in the middle of the night. But how and why? Even stranger, some walls throughout the village bore mysterious symbols that seemed to resemble the markings found on the shepherd's monolith. Could these cryptic signs hold the key to unraveling this perplexing puzzle and uncovering the truth behind the missing villagers? Amidst the eerie silence of the deserted streets, Katarina continued her investigation. She spoke to the locals who had stayed behind, hoping to piece together a timeline of events that led up to the mass disappearance. According to them, the troubles began with the sudden illness of Arso, followed by his untimely death and the vanishing monolith. After that, one resident after another fell gravely ill, leading them to abandon their homes and seek medical attention in Belgrade. But as more and more villagers succumbed to mysterious ailments, panic began to set in. Many started to believe that the village was cursed, while others whispered of ancient curses brought to life, driving them mad with fear. Among the locals was an elderly woman named Danica. According to her, the village was not always cursed, but something had changed in recent times. This revelation left Katarina more perplexed than ever. If the curse was relatively new, then what had caused it, and how could they break it? Determined to find answers, she delved deeper into the village's history. Katarina reached out to a local historian named Vladimir, hoping to gain insight into the area's past and uncover any potential secrets that could shed light on the village's misfortunes. After poring over ancient texts and local folklore, Vladimir uncovered a legend that sent chills down Katarina's spine. According to the tales passed down through generations, the village was built on a site of great spiritual significance. Legend has it that a portal to another dimension lies beneath the village square, forever altering the fate of those who dare venture too close. Could this ancient curse be the reason behind the villagers' strange disappearances? Or was there a more logical explanation behind the mass exodus from Kolubara? As the full weight of this terrifying theory settled upon Katarina, she knew she had to act fast to help the remaining villagers. But what could she possibly do to stop a curse that had been passed down for centuries? She returned to the village determined to confront the supernatural forces head-on. With the help of the remaining villagers, she began a series of rituals and ceremonies designed to appease any restless spirits that may have been haunting their homes. And then came the ultimate test. Katarina decided to venture into the forest where Arso's body was found, hoping to uncover any clues that might help solve the mystery. There, she stumbled upon a clearing where she noticed unusual patterns in the grass and soil that resembled the mysterious wall symbols. Could this be the connection between the villagers' disappearances and the strange symbols found throughout the town? And if so, what did it all mean? With each step she took, Katarina felt a growing sense of dread wash over her. The trees seemed to close in around her, whispering secrets in a language she couldn't understand. Suddenly, she felt a cold presence behind her, sending shivers down her spine. But when she turned around, there was no one there. Had she imagined it, or was she really sensing the presence of something sinister in the woods? Determined to press on, she continued her exploration, hoping to find answers to the haunting mysteries of Kolubara. In her investigation, Katarina managed to track down a doctor who treated some of the sick villagers before they vanished. He revealed that their symptoms were consistent with mass poisoning. However, the question remained, what had poisoned them, and where had the culprit gone? Could the answer lie in the cryptic wall symbols, or was there another explanation waiting to be uncovered? She interviewed villagers who claimed to have seen strange lights and heard unusual sounds in the forest around the time of the disappearances. Some even claimed to have witnessed bizarre, otherworldly creatures lurking in the shadows. As Katarina pieced together their fragmented accounts, a chilling theory began to form in her mind. Could there be a connection between the mysterious monolith, the wall symbols, and the strange creatures sighted in the forest? Then it hit her. What if the village wasn't cursed at all? Instead, the villagers had stumbled upon something truly remarkable, a hidden world existing just beyond our own perception. This revelation led her to a shocking conclusion. The villagers hadn't actually vanished. They had simply stepped through the portal into another dimension, perhaps to escape the illness plaguing their world. But if that was true, where had they gone, and would they ever return? Katarina grappled with this perplexing question, knowing that the fate of the missing villagers hung in the balance. As she pondered the existence of the other dimension, Katarina realized that the villagers' decision to leave might have been a desperate attempt to save themselves from the mysterious illness ravaging their town. If they had indeed ventured through the portal, it meant that the other dimension might hold the key to curing their ailments, but it also raised a terrifying prospect. Were the villagers still alive? And if so, would they ever return home? Confronting this unsettling possibility, Katarina resolved to uncover the truth. She delved deeper into the legends, seeking any clues that could lead her to the missing villagers. But as she journeyed through the dense forest, the weight of the villagers' disappearance pressed heavily on her heart. Could she really bring them back, or was she chasing a futile dream? Determined to find answers, Katarina decided to enter the forest herself. Armed with nothing but her wits and courage, she ventured deep into the heart of the woods, hoping to uncover the truth behind the missing villagers and the eerie wall symbols. As the trees grew denser and the sunlight struggled to penetrate the canopy, Katarina felt a growing sense of unease envelop her. Suddenly, she heard a rustling in the underbrush, causing her to freeze in her tracks. What if the strange creatures villagers had described were real? Could she really be in danger, or was she letting her imagination run wild? Taking a deep breath, she pressed on, hoping to find answers to the haunting mysteries of Kolubara. And that is the end of Part 1. But don't worry, Part 2 is out right now. Just click the link above or the eye symbol in the corner to watch it. Or better yet, check out Part 2 in the description. You won't regret it.